Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Bungie lawsuit. And essentially there are two lawsuits going on, so it can be kind of hard to figure out which one I'm actually talking about. Well, the Bungie lawsuit that I'm talking about is the one involving Matthew Kelsey that essentially revolves around Bungie having plagiarized the Red War campaign. Essentially, in case you don't know, the entire idea or like the case of it is that there was a story posted on WordPress, or like a WordPress blog essentially, that involved almost the exact same things that the Red War would end up entailing beat for beat, with like entire ideas and so on being copied. And basically the lawsuit is just Bungie plagiarized those elements of the Red War. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I wanted to pull out for some articles and just sort of have a discussion about it. As you can see here, Martino, the guy who is suing Bungie, claims his story, the story that Bungie allegedly sort of just copied, featured an invading military force known as the Red Legion attacking Earth, prominently using flamethrowers, and as we know, the Cabal that are the Red Legion in Destiny do use a form of flamethrower, or at least has a fire attack-esque type of thing. And a key to the goal of the Red Legion was to capture a space station that is essentially this massive celestial entity hovering above Earth that houses valuable assets in order to dominate Earth. In Bungie's version of the story, in the Red War campaign, that featured an invading military force known as the Red Legion attacking Earth, prominently using flamethrowers. A key of the Red Legion, or key to their strategy, was capturing the Traveler, a massive celestial entity hovering above Earth, using mysterious powers in order to dominate the planet. And here is the thing. This would all be good and well. Maybe Bungie could prove it, you know. They could go to court and they could talk and they could come out either looking good or looking bad. However, because Bungie have sunset the Red War campaign, there's no playable variants of it anymore. Bungie can't show the Red War to the court. So instead of showing the Red War to the courtroom, they showed YouTube videos, specifically things found on Destinypedia, and I think some Bife videos was also thrown in there. And initially this might seem like a good idea to some. I will be here and say that it's probably not. Using third-party creative things really can't capture the story and the essence of the Red War, despite the fact that that is what they're discussing, talking about, analyzing, or doing anything else with. You can't really just show third-party material. You have to present your own material in a courtroom, and Bungie failed to do so. Now, outside of being hilarious because Bungie have been sunsetting things, which was always been a controversial thing within the Destiny community, there is a lot of people that will defend the idea of sunsetting content that has existed in the game with the excuse that, oh, we can't have all of this content in the game. These things you purchased that you used your money for can't be in the game. Why? Oh, well, because memory issues. It's too hard. Game development hard. And it's not that I'm saying that Bungie are put in an easy position. Games like World of Warcraft predominantly are on PC because they're continuously updated, and consoles just have more limitations than PCs. And that's like fair enough. I get that it's a difficult scenario to be in. But as the multi-million-dollar corporation, multi-billion-dollar, you should probably be able to invest some of that into fixing those issues instead of just being like, yeah, that content, the content that people pay for, yeah, that content, yeah. Let's just throw it all out with it, fuck it. And this is obviously something that have manifested itself a lot in Destiny. Entire campaigns have been vaulted. There are entire things that you just can't play anymore. It's things like Curse of Osiris, The Warmind, Red War, Forsaken. They're all gone. Along with all of their seasonal content, along with all the raids for that time. And it's just such a shame, because some of the raids and things we have lost in that time frame were some of the best in Destiny. Things like the Leviathan raid, being one of my personal favorites, of course. Leviathan raid was just one of those things that was from the original game that is now completely inaccessible. I know people who have never played it because they didn't play Destiny back then. They came in later. And that's such a shame. Even just from an experience in it point of view. It is a shame to see these older things not being a part of the game anymore. And I genuinely would love to see a system where we could apply those things back into the game. Whether it be through something like the MCC, where you can pick and choose the content that you want to have in the game, or something else. Just a way to play it would be nice. It would spice it up a little bit, you know? And I am sure that me and the boys will go in and run some more Scourge of the Past. Why? Well, because there are some nostalgia to it. My friend took 123 attempts to get Anarchy the Exotic, or like the rarest weapon from that. And I've been along for most of those. And it's one of those things where you start to have some memories. You start to have some nostalgia from the painful moments that brought to you. And it's a shame to have them not be relivable, to not be able to go in and play that. Plus, honestly, let's just be real. It is more fun to earn the exotic through a raid than go to a kiosk and purchase it. What's the point? It just seems so dumb, if I may say so. At that point, you might as well just make them world drops, right? Like, the fact that they just aren't really earnable through an activity is a shame, in my opinion. And I think that goes with a lot of this vaulted content. A lot of it has been vaulted. Things like the Isanagi Burden's quest, which might not be as much of a shame. But there are a lot of these things that have been vaulted because the destination, the story that they were attached to, don't exist anymore. Things such as entire seasonal storylines. The Splicer storyline about the space person that I can't talk about that did some things that a certain counselor also did in real life. Like, I had some wild ideas there. But that is gone. Completely gone. And it's unfortunate because there was some of the more fun content in Destiny. As not just for the seasonal content, the content itself who cares. But like, the stories themselves weren't. Some of the seasonal storylines were, in my opinion, really good. There are some of those that genuinely kind of fuck in ways that we haven't seen things fuck in a while. And it's a bit of a shame to see them just be yeeted out there because they were made to be replaceable. And in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think it created a sort of ecosystem where Destiny became a meme game. Like, it became a joke game. You are playing the game that is actively taking the content out of the game. The content that you pay for, mind you, it's not free. You aren't getting free content. And then they're just throwing it away. It is baffling, honestly. And yet people, like, including myself, kept playing it. Like, we all kept playing Destiny. Why? Because Destiny is a unique and good game. And fundamentally, there are a lot of good to Destiny. Things such as its gunplay always gets praised. But even more subtle things, just having the loot that it has. It is the only looter shooter I continuously come back to. Even the newer Borderlands games can't pull me back that much. Like, since Borderlands 2, those games just haven't been able to pull me back as much as Destiny has. Because the loot grind feels meaningful a lot of the time. And while I know that has sort of gone a little bit downhill with crafted weapons, it has, especially in the past, felt super meaningful. And it's a shame to not see that side of the game a lot anymore. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about it and laugh at the fact that Bungie used YouTube videos in a lawsuit that they aren't being allowed to use, and they can't present the actual material because they deleted it from their own game. I just think it's funny. That's really all there is to it. And with that being said, I hope you all will have a wonderful day ahead of you. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, you can leave a like. You can do whatever you want, honestly. I'm not your mom. Do I look like your mom? Anyway, you can have a wonderful day ahead of you. And I'll see you all in the next one.